Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 110 of our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. Today we're going to talk about spiritual connection. We are focusing on the spiritual area and aspect of our life. It's part of a life framework that I use to set goals and objectives and to kind of plan and organize my life around so that I don't forget any key areas or aspects of my life, because I've done that and it didn't turn out very well for me personally. So what is spiritual connection? Spiritual connection is the sense or the knowing or the understanding that there is something bigger than us in the universe or in the world, something bigger than just your and my individual experiences, definitions, beliefs, feelings, thoughts, emotions about things, that there's something more than that, that we're part of one big human race, regardless of our goals and what we want out of life. We're all in some way, shape, or form connected as a human race. So let's talk about 10 ways and different ways to become more spiritually connected. How do we get in touch with that there's and believe, learn to understand or believe that there's something bigger than us out there. Now, if you're religious, you've always known that God is out there and watches over us, or whatever your beliefs are. If you have studied spirituality, you may have learned about different types of connection and different spirit guides and things and how things work in the universe and universal laws. But we all want to be and need to be, I think, connected to something bigger than ourselves. When we want to make a positive difference in the world, it helps to understand that we are all connected, and what we do, I think that's why the golden rule is so important. What we do unto other people, we actually do unto ourselves. When we give to other people, we receive what we give in return. If we give bad things to people, we get bad things back. If we give good things to the world and out into the world and put good into the world, we get good things back in our lives. That's my belief. Now, you might believe something totally different, but our action item today, let's skip to our action item. Then I'll talk about 10 ways we can stay or get spiritually connected. I guess I did stay spiritually connected, assuming that we've found that connection somehow, or we've got this niggling or nagging little voice in the back of our mind that says, there's got to be more than this. There's got to be something bigger than this. I think it comes down to the whole discussion of who we are physically as human beings and how we experience this life versus are we, and there's all kinds of, I'm not going to get into my personal beliefs around this because they're so our personal beliefs are what drive us. But I honestly believe 100% that we are connected to a bigger version of ourselves, a spiritual soul type version of ourselves that is connected to everything else and everyone else in the world and in the universe that's ever lived and ever will live. So our action item today is to say, do you share a spiritual connection with someone on the planet? Do you have a soulmate on the planet? Or share your favorite way to connect spiritually, connect to your spirit, connect to your higher power, etc. So what are some ways that we can stay connected to our spirit? Number one, recognize that we have a creator, that we have something bigger than ourselves that is at play in the universe. Number two, seek opportunities to put more love into the world. Number three, set aside time each day to spend in spiritual reflection and contemplation. Do you have a little bit of time every day? Do you say, my daughter was kind of giving me a hard time the other day. She's like, well, you're not very religious, but you say grace and a night prayer. And I'm like, yeah, I just say it to myself because it's my practice. I don't expect everybody else around me to necessarily connect or practice in the way that I practice my spirituality. Number four, become more accepting, meaning less judgmental of yourself and of other people. Number five, forgive anyone you haven't forgiven yet, including yourself. Number six, recognize your mistakes. Hey, I have yet to meet a person that has not had a mistake or made a mistake in their life. I have yet to meet a perfect person, and I don't know that a perfect person ever existed, except for the belief that Jesus was the perfect person, right? Seven, tend to see the good in others. Look for the good in others. One of my tricks in different jobs that I've had throughout my life, if there's always people that rub us the wrong way. They're usually showing us something about ourselves that we don't like, by the way, but there's people that we just don't get on with. We don't get along with. They bother us. There's something about them that just irritates us. Well, I found the best way to get along with those people is to look in at them, look at their behavior, look at their actions, and find something that you respect and admire about them. I guarantee you there's pretty much something you can respect or admire about anyone on the planet. Even the most heinous, evil, ridiculous people have a redeeming quality or two, right? So look for those things and focus on the good, because what we pay attention to, we get more of. Number 8, take stock of your thoughts and behaviors. Every once in a while, tap into and pay attention to how are you thinking, behaving, believing, acting toward other people and toward your spiritual connection. Number 9, bless the world. I love that one. I go out blessing the world all the time. And number 10, use each interaction to be the best, most powerful version of yourself. So every experience you have, every interaction you're involved in, show up as uniquely you and the best version of you. That's why we're doing this challenge. The continually improving version of ourselves is what we're working to create. Will we ever be done? No, we are always going to be a work in progress. We will never get to some point where, okay, I'm done growing, I'm done developing, I'm perfect right now, it's all good. And then we just live the rest of our life staying the same. Not going to happen. I believe that if we're, and this again, my belief, if we're not growing and moving toward what we want, we are staying in one spot and declining, because things change around us all the time. And so if we're not changing with them, we're falling behind, or we're going backwards. So again, our action item, share your favorite way to spiritually connect. Me, some of my favorite ways, I'll share mine. Spending time in nature, quiet time in nature. My life is so hectic and chaotic a lot of the time that every day I like to spend some time in nature, or some time meditating, or in a quiet hypnosis, listening to a quiet hypnosis that helps me reflect and breathe and just get centered and tap into my spiritual connection. Things like prayer, other ways. So you could share a way that you could, your favorite way to connect. How do you like to connect? Or your best way, or your favorite, most desired way to connect spiritually? Or do you have a soulmate, or a special connection? Or have you ever had a special connection with another person? I have met people throughout my life and throughout my career, the people that you just click with. I mean, people that I've met and only known for a very short time, but there was definitely that spiritual connection, kindred spirit type thing when we met and when we interacted with one another. And it's interesting to look back and think about those relationships and those interactions and the pivotal point that they've had in my life at a time when I needed it most. One time out in California, I met a young man, and I was struggling personally and professionally and in college, and I had gone out for an engineering conference, and I met this person who saw me and paid attention to me and talked with me for hours that helped me understand myself better. Never saw him again, but made a huge impact on me. Gave me a poem that I carried around for, I think, about 15 years, or had, in my desk at work, or in my books at college, or along in my bedroom by my bed or something, because it reminded me to be myself. And it was obviously a message I needed at the time. So that's our challenge for today, to improve ourselves in a little bitty way, some way every day. Any questions, ask. I'm here, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. You can Google me. You can hit me on this page. You can hit me on the Get Up and Go Challenge page. Under Guide 15, we've got all of this year's challenge so far. So if you're just joining us, you can pop in and you can go back and listen to all the other days that we've had. Or you can just start where you are, and then after we're done this year, you can just pick up the days that you've missed and listen to them. There's no right order for doing this, except when we're going through the SOAP framework. You want to do the S, the O, the A, the P in order. But for the most part, you don't have to do any of this in order. You don't have to do any of this. Do what's right for you. All right. Have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.